Hello students, so welcome back to the discussion session on English questions. So we'll have the discussion of questions one by one, and as usual I'll be telling you where you have gone wrong, if it is a wrong answer that you have chosen, and why the other options are not possible. Okay, so let us start with the first set of questions where the instruction is very clearly given that you have to choose the pair which is similar to the one given as sample. Okay, so this is the first set of questions, and here we have a sample given on the board, and that is roar and engine. So when you read this pair or these two words again, automatically the thing which comes to your mind is this is one of the words given here, that is the word roar is a sound denoting. Okay, so it's a sound denoting word. That means that roaring sound it's a word which denotes sound. Another example is like the word splash. So when you jump into a pool of water, muddy water, there is a kind of splashing sound, isn't it? So that is what you call again words which denote sound. And these words we call it as, we use a term to describe these words, and these are onomatopoeic words. That means words denoting sounds, we call it as onomatopoeic words. Okay, so according to this pattern, we have one more pair where we have sound is denoted by a word, and that is the word tinkle and, or the pair tinkle and bell, tinkling sound of bell. So whenever we have a word which denotes a sound that it produces, that item has produced, that is what you call, or those words are called onomatopoeic words. Okay, so here whisper and noise is just defining, like whisper is a kind of noise. It's a kind of it's a kind of definition given to it. Okay, and then echo and sound similar. Lash and whip. See, you might get confused between these two options, lash and whip. Actually, whip and lash. Lash is not just a word denoting sound. Lash means to strike or to give a blow, or a like sudden blow, or to strike with something very violently. So in that sense, you cannot take it just as a word denoting sound. So the perfect pair, exactly like what you've got as a sample, is tinkle and bell. Okay. Next is open, secretive. Opposites. A person who is open, the one who is very open-minded, frank, and the one who says things very openly. And secretive means the one, kind of the person who keeps secrets and doesn't open up with people so easily, so quickly. So here, mystery and detective is not the matching pair. Honest and truth, or else it would have been it's not what you call opposite, right? So what we want is an opposite. So forthright and snide, like direct and indirect, almost same meaning. Okay, so this is the correct opposite, the pair which shows opposites in meaning. Antonyms. Okay. Now third is wave and crest. So here also be like a little bit of cautious when you come across such words. Wave and crest. You know what wave is, and or else a crest of wave. We call it as crest of wave. It's closely connected. Okay, so crest of wave has crest in it. So crest is a part of the wave itself. Okay, so it's like a part of the wave itself. So it has a very close connection. So in the same way, mountain and peak. Peak is a part of the mountain, right? So in that sense, a very close connection between mountain and peak, just like wave and crest. And look at the other pairs. Pinnacle and nadir is opposites, top and bottom in that sense. Okay, and then we have like sea and ocean. So ocean and sea, it's not like exactly like the pair given to you. Picture and crayon, not always that crayon which we use for picture. Picture and like pencil, pen, all these things are matching, not just this, right? So like this matching pair, wave and crest, matching, closely matching to that, we have the answer, second one, mountain and peak. The next is control and order. When we control, or else when we keep things under control, there is a kind of order around. The same way, when we have anarchy, there would be chaos or problems. So, and look at the other options. Government and legislators, it's not exactly like the pair given to you. Teacher and pupil, master and servant, but exactly like the pair given to you, always have to look at the word given as sample or as pair to get the correct answer. Okay, so and read it twice, or all the options must be read at least twice to get the proper answer. So here, control and order, the relationship is when you exercise control over something, if you like impose control over something, at least there would be kind of discipline and order. Exactly same way, if we have anarchy, there would be confusion around, chaos around. Okay, so in that sense, this is the correct answer. The next is joy and ecstasy. So joy and ecstasy, it is extreme of joy is what you call ecstasy. When you're too happy beyond words, you are ecstatic, or it's called ecstasy. In the same way, when you admire something to its fullest, it would become love. So the extreme of joy is ecstasy. The same way, the extreme of admiration for something ends up in love for something. So in that sense, the first option could be taken. And life and hope, life is full of hope, and these are all cliches and not exactly like the pair which you have to take into consideration. Happiness and sorrow opposites, youth and fun. Fun is just one of the characteristic traits of youth. Okay, but then the extreme of joy, just like extreme of joy is ecstasy, the extreme of admiration is love. So in that sense, this is the correct answer. Now next is, we have next set of questions where in the following questions the sentence is divided into 4 parts, and again you're familiar with such exercises, right? So where we have the sentence, a sentence is given which got divided or split into 4 parts, and it's in the proper way. You just need to read it. It's not jumbled, but then one of the parts is wrong, one of the parts. So you have to identify that particular part which has gone wrong, and let us see how can we correct it, or how we can correct it. Okay. Are we prepared for the consequences who will follow when young impressionable minds are poisoned? So obviously when you read it, you know that something is wrong with the second part, isn't it? So are we prepared for the consequences? This who is used with people. Okay, with people, not with inanimate thing or other things like consequences or results or such things. Always if the subject is people, only then we can use the term who, that relative pronoun. Okay, so here in that sense, this is the wrong part, and how will you correct it? Are we prepared for the consequences that will follow when young impressionable minds are poisoned? So substitute that who with that, automatically you will be getting the correct answer. Okay. Next is, why are clients and advertising agencies are making such a lot of noise? I am damn sure that the most of you got this answer correct, because you might have noticed that when you read it at the very first reading itself, you come across this error that we have these words are repeated, isn't it? So in the first part, this R is required. So here no need to correct, there is no correction. Instead, why are clients and advertising agencies making? So this R is to be omitted in third part. So third part has got a correction, it is wrong. And how will you correct it? Just omit or remove this R, and automatically you will be getting the correct way of, correct order of the sentence, or without any error that you will be getting the sentence. So what is the correct answer? How will you correct it? Why are clients and advertising agencies making such a lot of noise? Okay. Next is, children are many more open-minded than adults. There is one S, so adult is in plural. Okay. So children are many more open-minded than adults. So usually with the term open-minded, we don't say that many more open-minded. Instead, much more open-minded. It's uncountable. You know that countables and uncountables, right? So countables, the things which we can count in terms of number, like 1, 2, 3 or any number, you call it as countable nouns, and then like uncountable, which cannot be counted. Okay, so here open-minded, love, these are the things which cannot be counted. So in that sense, for countable we can use many, 1, 2, 3 or any number, but then For uncountables, it's much to be used. So here, how will you correct it and which part has gone wrong? This part has got wrong, and just remove many and add much, you will be getting the correct answer. So the sentence goes like this, the correct sentence goes like this: children are much more open-minded than adults. And here, they must realize that the fault lies within themselves. This also, if you read it like once, that time itself will be getting the error. You will be able to understand the error. See, they must realize that the fault. So this fault is given prominence. They must realize that the fault, singular. So this should be lies within. They must realize that the fault lies within themselves. Clear? So this is how you can correct it. Then provinces are working for its own interests. So here also that subject verb agreement explanation is to be taken into consideration. See, provinces, plural plus what else? It's not a person. Okay. So, and again it's plural, isn't it? So, provinces are working for not its own but their own. So, this its own is wrong. It is used only for one item, and here we speak about provinces in plural. So, obviously you have to go for a plural here also. So, it should be their own, not its own. So, the correct way of saying this sentence is provinces are working for them their own interests. Okay. Next is now next set of questions where we have the proper, you need to choose the correct or appropriate prepositions. Okay. And always remember sometimes you have to search for preposition which would go along with particular type of word. Okay. Involved in, engrossed in accordance with. Okay, so these are some of the prepositions which would go along with a particular set of words. So, and here we speak about some phrasal verbs, and those phrasal verbs will be completed only by adding suitable prepositions. Okay. So, first is, he wanted to talk to me but I kept dash working and refused to listen. So, last time also you had a similar, for the previous exam also you had a similar exercise where the phrasal verbs were used. And here, see with keep and kept, keep on, kept on, keep on, past tense is kept on. That means to continue with something. So, he wanted to talk to me, but I kept on working because I may not, or I was not interested to listen to him, and that's why I just kept on working, means I continued working. So, it is, he wanted to talk to me, but I kept on working and refused to listen. Okay. Next is, the country was in a state of rebellion and was only kept dash by repressive measures. Okay, so even if the country was in a state of rebellion, with the help of some repressive measures, the country was suppressed down, or that rebellion was suppressed down. So to get the meaning to suppress down, you use kept down, or to keep down something. To suppress something is to keep down. Okay, so to keep down means to suppress. So that meaning is what you have to add here. So in that sense, the country was in a state of rebellion, but that was suppressed down or pressed down, meaning kept down by repressive measures, not the other options possible. Okay. Next is, you must look dash and make plans for the future. Okay, so you're talking about future plans, not the present or not about the past errors. So that means always look ahead. When you think about future, always remember this word ahead, look ahead. That means plan ahead, plan in advance. Okay, so in that sense, you must look ahead. That means look ahead and make plans for your future, not look back. So sometimes when you want to analyze the errors that had happened in your past, only then you use the term look back. Or to turn back also we use that term look back. Okay, but here we are talking about something which denotes futuristic possibilities, right? So in that sense, you must look ahead and make plans for your future. So this must be the third option, ahead. Okay. Next is, looking dash. See, right now I told you, when you speak something about the thing which has already been over or which is already over, the action is over in the past, you can use the term back. So this is the answer that you'll be getting for this particular option. Looking back, that means what is the clue to your answer when you read the entire sentence? When I was younger, that means I speak about the time not in the present, not in the future, but I speak about the time in the past when I was younger. So right now I have grown up and I speak about the time in the past. Okay. So in that sense, looking dash, I see now all the mistakes. So looking back, going back to my past, recollecting the memories of my past, I realize all the mistakes that I made when I was younger. Okay. Next is, the man walked so fast that the child could not keep with him. Suppose you walk along with somebody and the person walks so fast that you cannot keep pace with the person. Which term is to be used? The man walked so fast that the child could not keep up with him. To keep up the pace, to keep up the speed. To maintain, to keep up means to maintain. Okay, so that is the sense which you have to use or is applicable for this blank. So in that sense, the man walked so fast that the child could not keep up with him. So keep up shows that what you call to maintain something, to maintain speed here. Okay. Next is again next set of questions where we have, choose the words or phrase which best completes the sentence. Rely on the choice that would complete the meaning of the sentence. That means you have to choose, first part of the sentence is given, you have to choose the best possible option which would be sensible, logical and of course grammatically correct. So these three things are to be kept in mind when you come across such exercises. The sentence, when you complete it with the choice given below or the choice that you or the option that you choose, you have to make sure that it is grammatically correct. The entire sentence will be grammatically correct, sensible and logical. Okay. Shyam has returned dash. So here we speak about a vehicle. So Shyam has returned a vehicle back to its original owner. Then to its origin, here the subject is missing. What is returned? That is not mentioned. So obviously this cannot be taken. Then the vehicle, it should have been the vehicle to its, right? So Shyam has returned the vehicle to its original owner. So why can't you take a vehicle? See, a vehicle, you know the articles, right? A, an and the. So when you speak about anything in the world, not specifically an item, you can use a and an, depending upon consonants and vowel sounds. For example, I saw a girl, I saw a lady at the bus stop. I didn't tell you who the lady is. I just said that I saw a lady at the bus stop. It could be any lady in the world. But then if I tell you specifically, I saw the lady who taught me in class 10 at the bus stop, or the lady and with something specifically, that means it's not just any lady in the world, but the one whom I am familiar with. Okay. So here it's not just any vehicle in the world, but a particular one. Okay. A specific one. So this is the correct option, not the other options possible. Okay. Next is, Anna did not do well at all because dash. First choice is she was not good study-wise. That is grammatically incorrect. So, you do not say, we do not use the term like she was not good study-wise, or else it could have been she was not good at studies, not study-wise good. Okay. Then second is she studied hard, so studied bad. That also is not a term to be used. Okay, it's grammatically also incorrect. Then she was a worse student. So when you compare her with others, of course, we can modify the sentence and you can use this choice or this option. But then Anna did not do well at all because she failed to study properly. So this option alone is grammatically correct, logical, sensible and appropriate to the context. Okay. Next is, people all over the country are staying dash. So let us match all these options one by one. Okay. First is, people all over the country are staying great in numbers. So it doesn't make any sense at all, this sentence. If you add that first option, people all over the country are staying great in numbers. It doesn't fit into that blank. So you cannot choose this. Or else, people all over the country are staying in more numbers also. It doesn't make any sense. The meaning is not conveyed. What the person wants to convey, it is not staying in more. Staying, it should have been staying more in numbers, not in more. That order also is grammatically incorrect. Then more numerously, wrong, but in great numbers is the proper option. So people all over the country are staying in large numbers or great numbers. That is how the term to be used. Okay. Then I was not the only one. There were people who suffered dash. Again, let us try all the options. I was not the only one. There were people who suffered more than I can possible. It should be possibly, not possibly imagine. So this is wrong. Then more than I can possibly. Possibly what? It's not given, right? So this also cannot be taken. Then more than can, than and can, of course, wrong. So what is left out? And that makes, of course, a sensible sentence if you add that to the sentence. I was not the only one. There were people who suffered more than I can possibly imagine. I'm not the only one, but there are so many people in the world, I can't even imagine the number of people who had or who have similar difficulties in life. Okay, so this is the correct option. Next is, I understand that the government is considering a new proposal. Then, how will you complete it? Let us check all these options. I understand that the government is considering a new proposal. What would? Of course, it should have been that would, not what would. So, not to be taken. That connecting word is wrong there. Then or else, I understand the government is considering a new proposal. Who? I told you right now, I mean in the class that this who is used with people, not with proposals or policies, right? So this also cannot be taken. Now that would help in clearing files rapidly or to cause files clear. This is grammatically incorrect. So this is the correct option. And now if you add that to the sentence and you read it, you understand that this is a logically correct sentence and grammatically correct sentence. So this is how it goes. I understand that the government is considering a new proposal that would help in clearing files rapidly. So this proposal will help in clearing files rapidly. So it makes sensible sentence if you add this third option. Okay. Next is, okay, it's a fill in the blanks question where options are given for each blank. You have to choose the best one. And when you get such fill in the blank type of questions, you have to, it's all connected, right? So you sometimes to get answer for blank number 27 or 25, you need to read the entire thing once again. Since it's all these things or these events are related. Okay. So let us see the first blank and the options given for it. It is difficult to dash the future course of events. Automatically you will get the correct answer. We always predict the future events. Okay, we always predict the future. So in that sense, it is difficult to predict the future course of events, not judge or edict or depict, but predict. Nobody can predict what will happen next. Okay. Next blank, we cannot be dash. There is a full stop there. It is difficult to predict the future course of events. Now read it again. We cannot be dash. We cannot be dash. Okay. What are the options given? We cannot be satisfied. We cannot be deficient. Deficient is not a word to be taken. We cannot be deficient is not the proper way to I mean it's not grammatically also correct. Complacent, implemented. Implemented also cannot be taken. We cannot be implemented. What cannot be implemented? That doesn't speak much about what exactly is being implemented, right? Satisfied, complacent. So actually there is a similarity in meaning. Complacent and satisfied, a little bit similar, but then the precise one is actually complacent. Satisfied and complacent. What is the difference? Satisfied, quite contented, quite satisfied, but complacent means self-satisfied. So we cannot be self-satisfied is the proper word to be used. So complacent is the proper word to be used, not just satisfied. Okay. Next is 23rd. I see some danger in future, something which we like it's danger ahead, not danger before or in front, because if it is in front, there should have been an of after in front, isn't it? In front of, then something more to be added for the sentence to make it sensible. So here, I see some danger ahead means some danger in future or future dangers. Okay. Next, 24th. Okay, we cannot afford to dash our efforts. We can't dash our efforts. That is the meaning. We can't relax our efforts. That means we cannot sit idle. We cannot relax our efforts. We have to work or we have to struggle. Okay, that cannot be eased. So here relax means to ease something, to take it in a very casual way, or to what you call decrease the amount of something. So here to ease is the proper, to ease. To relax here means to ease. So here we cannot ease our efforts. What we are doing right now, the way we are struggling, we have to increase it, not to decrease it. So in that sense, it is relax, which is the correct answer. Then 25th, let us read that again. We cannot afford to relax our efforts. We have to be prepared for every sacrifice. We dash do without some dash of life. We dash to. So right now, remember, go back to the first sentence where we speak about the things which may happen in future. So the whole paragraph, it shows something which may happen in the future, not happening right now. It said that we cannot predict the future course of events, right? That is how the passage started. So right now, like it may happen. So in that sense, we have to fill this up. So we have to be prepared for every sacrifice. We may have to do without. We may have to adjust. We may have to. We have to means we uses have to in the to denote the present times, not the future times. So for future possibility, you have to use we may have to. Okay. So what is that sentence? We may have to do without some dash of life, some basic things, that is necessities, some necessities of life. It is the government's endeavor to provide the necessities of life of the people, but we cannot be too sure. We cannot say if our friends will continue to stand by us. Each one of us has therefore to be prepared for the biggest sacrifice. So it's all connected. And now the last blank is each one of us has therefore to be prepared for the biggest sacrifice. This should be constantly something which you have to keep in mind. This should be constantly kept in mind. Okay. So this must be kept in mind, and that is the like a correct word to be chosen, and this is how you fill this up. So always remember, to get answers for all the blanks, sometimes you need to read the passage from the beginning several times. Next is again next set of questions where 28 to 30 means you have to choose the feminine gender of the word given to you. Feminine, female gender. Okay. Like this is very, very, very easy, isn't it? Mr. Of course, Mr. Ashok, Mr. Feminine, Mrs. So that is obvious, isn't it? And for other, count, countess, man, woman, boy, girl. Next, stag. Stag means what? A male deer. A male deer is a stag. So the female deer is called a doe. This is the correct answer. Okay. Then, okay, actually this is measure. Measure. This is how you pronounce it. Measure. It's a French term. Okay. Almost like Mr. or Sir. So measure, and the feminine part of that is madame or madam. When we like make it slightly changed, or the version that we use is madam in English, it is madame. Okay, measure, madame. Okay, so it is madam. In our terms, it is madam. This is the correct answer. Okay. Next set of questions, 31 to 35, you have to choose options which best explains the given word. Okay, so that means a word will be given to you and you have to choose from the given options the definition of that particular word. And I guess the first one, that is 31st one, is something which you might have studied in your smaller classes. Okay, you call it as a barter system. In social science, at least you might have studied this barter system. Okay, and here barter system means what? Is it trade involving foreign currencies? No. Then trade involving speculations? No, never. Or to main and squeeze something? No. Instead, it's a trade involving exchange of goods. Okay, so this barter system was prevailing long back, centuries back, when people, they want something, they have to give something in turn. Like if I want 1 kg of rice, but I have sugar, not rice, and somebody else, my neighbor, has got rice but no sugar, and she is in need of sugar, we can exchange. So that exchange of goods is what you call, depending upon needs of people, that's what you call a barter system. So this is the correct answer. Okay. Then bizarre. Bizarre, okay. Is it commonplace? No. Actually, the meaning of bizarre means strikingly or odd shapes, peculiar or odd shapes or appearance. Bizarre looking means very strange or peculiar looking in appearance or shapes also, bizarre shapes. So this is the correct answer. Not lovable, commonplace, reasonable and understandable. Next, margarine. So what is margarine? It is not alcoholic chocolate or alcoholic pastry or type of full jam, but it is butter made from animal or vegetable fat. Sometimes in like when you go out to supermarkets and all, these things are available. Margarine cheese, you call it as margarine cheese, and it's a kind of butter or cheese made from animal or vegetable fat. So the proper explanation of that word is the first option. Okay. Next is, what is catamaran? Catamaran is not type of cannonballs or cannon. It's not any Zoroastrian place of worship or any place of worship as well. It's not a Jewish place of worship, but it is a type of boat. It's a type of boat or water transport. It is one such type of boat that we call as catamaran, just like raft and such things are used. Then discredit. So when you get this word or such types of words, you read the options carefully, go through it several times, and then only you choose the better option or the correct option. Not better, but correct option. Okay. Discredit is not to make an account. Sometimes you get the message that your account is credited with money. So that word credited and discredit, not related. It's not related to money. Okay. So this is not the correct option. So not related to money means this also is cancelled. Not to praise a person, but it is damaging reputation of. Discredit means to damage the reputation of. Discredit. So damaging the reputation or image of a person or something. Next is 36 to 40, the next set of questions where we have, odd one out. A word which does not belong to the group, okay, with the other words in the group. Now, for example, the first one is artificial, man-made, synthetic, natural. Obviously, when you read it once itself, you will be getting the answer. Artificial, man-made, synthetic, natural. So, artificial things are man-made and synthetic things also are man-made. So, these three things are similar, but natural things are entirely different, something which nature provides us with. So, it's not anything related to man-made objects. So, natural is the correct, that is the odd one out. Next is into, until, upon, onto. So here sometimes you will get a bit confused, but I guess if you have that basic knowledge of grammar or basic grammar, if you're aware of all those rules, of course you'll be getting the answer. Into, until, upon, onto. Here until is the correct answer, and why this is the correct answer, the reason is other options like into, upon or onto show direction of something kept into the box. Into means inside something, interior part. Onto means surface level. Upon also surface level. So that shows direction or position of an object, but until shows time, not position or direction. So when into, onto and upon show position or direction, until is the odd one out, which doesn't show direction or position but denoting time. So in that sense, this is the odd one out. Okay. Next is thought, for, since, because of. So for, since, because of are similar, showing reason for something. Like I came late for the fact that it was raining. Since it was raining, I came late. Because of heavy rains, I reached late. Showing reason. So in the same sentence, I can use to show reason for, since, because of. That means denoting or showing reason for something, cause for something. But thought is the odd one out, doesn't show cause or reason. So this is the correct answer. Then next is puerile, juvenile, immature, mature. See these three words, puerile, juvenile, immature, there is a similarity which means childish, connected with children, or childish, immature. Actually, you can call these two words as the synonyms of immature nature or immature, being immature. And then mature is just the opposite of these three words. So in that sense, mature is the odd one out. This is the correct answer. So other three options have similarities or synonyms or same by nature but not the word mature. Okay. Then ribald, vulgar, decent, lewd. Again, these three options have similarity or same meaning or synonyms. Something vulgar is something lewd or ribald. Okay, things related with sexual matters, and that too when we speak in a vulgar way, we call it as ribald. Same thing, vulgar, lewd, or same synonyms. Okay, and here decent is the odd one out. It's just the opposite of vulgar. Then 41 to 43, complete the following idioms. So we have been given some idioms, and with the help of the options, you have to complete it. Now, every cloud has a silver lining. I guess you are familiar with this particular idiom. Every cloud has a silver line. That means there is possibility in the least possible things. Okay. A ray of hope. Every cloud has a silver lining, shows a ray of hope. Then next idiom is to take leave of one's senses. This is how you complete it. What is the meaning of that? To take leave of one's senses means to lose conscience, or else like you lose your logical thinking. You are not in a position to think properly. Okay. Then next is to have an itching palm. Okay, to have an itching palm means to to show greed for money. You're greedy for money. You want money. It's connected with money, the desire for money, or else the desire to accept or receive bribe. So, to have an itching palm means when you have desire, when you're greedy for money, this idiom is used. Next, 44 to 45, two questions. Identify the correctly spelled word. Which word is correctly spelled? Judiciary. Judiciary, this one. First one, judiciary. Okay. Then next is erosion. The second one is the correct spelling of the word erosion, soil erosion. Then 46 to 50, the last set of words where we have read the passage correctly and answer the questions. Okay, we do not have any connected passage, just a few sentences have been, it's fill in the blanks of course, okay, and with the words, choose the best word to fill up these blanks, and that is 46 to 50, okay. So 46th is, because of his excellent dash skills, he could mesmerize or attract the attention of the crowd with the power of his speech. This is a clue to get the answer. It's all connected with speech, speaking skills. Okay, so the mastery or else your knack in speaking, and that is how you captivate or you draw the attention of the crowd. So, of course, the person who has got excellent skills regarding speech, you call that as oratory skills. So, this is how it goes. Because of his excellent oratory skills, he could mesmerize the crowd with the power of his speech. So, very often you will get the clues in the question, in the sentence itself, if it is a fill in the blank like this. So, you have to read it twice to get that clue. Next. The patriot was given a tumultuous, means a very grand welcome or very warm, amiable welcome. Dash is countrymen, it's very obvious. Welcome by, given by, welcome by. So, this is the option fourth one. And then not like, okay, if you try to fit other words into the blank, it would fail. Like, the patriot was given a tumultuous welcome with his countrymen. No. Okay. From his countrymen, also not the proper one. But when we have people as objects, by. I was given tea by him, not with him, from him. Okay. Next is, there is, it's a small error, printing mistake. This should have been THERE there. Okay. So, there is no time like the dash to start thinking about owning a house. So, here we have the options like current, past, present, future. Of course, we can strike these two options off. We are talking about there is no time like the dash to now. Now it's the time. The meaning of the sentence is now it is the time to start thinking about owning a house. Okay, so to get that sense, which word should be used? Is it current or present? So actually it is present. Why we cannot use current? The reason is there is no time like the current time. With current, you have to use the term time also, currently and current times. So it should be with time to be added with current to make it as present time. There is no time after the blank, so present can be used. There is no time like the present time to start thinking about owning a house. Next is, practice will dash pay its dividends. Practice makes a man perfect. You might have heard this proverbial expression before. But then when you practice something, do not expect it to happen very suddenly, very quickly. Like you practice something for a particular duration of time, sometimes for a long period of time, and only then you will be able to get it perfect. Okay, so in that sense, you normally we say that we do not get a quick result. Sometimes we have to practice a lot. You have to spend too much of time. So in that sense, to make the sentence in that way, which word is to be used? Practice will eventually. Eventually means slowly but for sure. Finally is of course a word which is grammatically correct if you use in the sentence, but what we want is grammatical and logical and sensible sentence, isn't it? So in that sense, practice will eventually. Slowly but finally. So, slowly and finally both are included in the meaning of this word eventually. So, that is a better choice. Not sooner, not later, but eventually. The last question is, When certain kids of monkeys are dash, they act just like human beings. Domesticated. That means when you tame kids or baby monkeys, okay? When certain baby monkeys are domesticated, they act just like human beings. So, not pet. It's used in the sense of a verb. So, to make it a verb, of course, you have to use the first option, domesticated. Okay, clear. So, I guess it's these things are clear to you. So, very soon we'll meet with the next set of or the next question paper for the same exam. So, till then, you people please take care. Thank you. Thanks a lot.